You're listening to Wet Shaving Talk, powered by Sharpologist.com, where we're dedicated to preserving the art and skill of classic shaving. I'm your host, Joe Borrelli, and today is June 24th, 2024. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you all had a great Father's Day weekend that just passed. I, for one, had a nice relaxing day. I can tell you it was a great time. I got to spend some time with my family, spend some time with my son especially, and really enjoyed the time together. So I hope you guys were able to as well, and got some good shaves of the day involved as well. Or maybe even got some of those wet shaving gifts that you were looking to get, or something really cool. So I hope you guys did that and got some cool stuff and are ready now, ready for the summer, because we are in full-fledged summer mode. I can tell you, most of the country right now, it's in the 90s. I know in New York it was like 95 degrees the other day. It was hotter. It was about 7 degrees. Actually, it was almost 10 degrees hotter than it was in Florida. So up north is going through a heat wave, and down here it's going through kind of like normal. So enough of the weather. Let's get on with some wet shaving. So today on the show, a few new items from Wiborg Shaving came out and emerged on Facebook just a few days, about a few weeks ago probably now, maybe a week or two. And I'll tell you my thoughts on Wiborg Shaving. Great products. I don't know how to get one of these brushes or how you're supposed to, but if you do know how, hey, let me know. Give me a pointer, because I'd love to get my hands on one again. Having tried one before in the past, I know they're really good, but they're hard to get. The TI Glide Single Edge Razor is a new prototype, or I think kind of like a brand new. It's not like a where they're looking to, I forgot the name of it, where they're trying to get funds for it or whatever. GoFundMe. Sorry, it's not a GoFundMe, but it's something new that's coming out from Asia. It's a new style razor. I thought it was pretty cool. Saw it online. Very receptive to online communication as well. I'll talk a little bit about that. Old soaps worth trying. This is something that's been coming up a little bit on the forums recently, of people using and collecting older soaps. I'm not talking about old soaps like from 2020. I'm talking about old soaps from like 1950s, 60s, and using them. Believe it or not, there's a very large amount of people in the community of wet shaving that do this and actually use these soaps. I'll tell you a few of the brands worth trying and how to get them loaded up and get them started when you actually purchase one. And now is the time to purchase on eBay. Guys, there's been several high-end items, hard-to-find items that have sold at record low prices. I have one of them in the notes. I'll go over it with you, but there are several others. So if you're looking to buy on eBay for a high-end, hard-to-find item, now might be the time. I'll tell you a little bit more when we get on with it. So it's time to get on with the show. Oh, that was pretty bad. But yeah, I'm trying to get a few different ways to introduce the show itself. I've been doing the same intro for the last, 8 years, 9 years. I don't know how long. It's been about getting close to 8 or 9 years I've been doing the podcast. So I'm looking at different ways to start leading off and stuff like that. Maybe change it up a little bit, because it's been really the same layout since we started, before I even was on the show. I mean, the guy previous to me was Andrew. And I'm still using kind of like the same kind of breakdown he did back in the day. And I thought about it the other day. I'm like, you know what? Might be time to change it up a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. Send me some comments if you have any ideas on how to change it up, or if you have any templates or anything like that for podcasts as well. I'm going to start looking more into it, and then over the summer months here when I have a little bit more time. And maybe get some new stuff going on here. Maybe a little bit new intro going on as well. So we'll see. So getting on with the show today. New stuff from Wiborg. Wiborg Shaving is a shaving brush company based out of Germany. And they have been very popular for the last probably 10 years or so with wet shaving. A little bit longer, maybe a little less. But their brushes are really of high quality. Great knots, great brush, really cool designs. And they've been popular in the past. I just don't know how to get one of these things. I've been in wet shaving since 2011. It's now 2024. I've only held on to. I've seen them, and I've actually a friend of mine lent me one a while, and I got to use it for a couple of weeks. They're really great, I got to say. But they're hard to get. They never see when they're on sale on the website. I guess it's more of like you got to know somebody to know somebody type deal. But recently they launched some new items, put them in the show notes, some new colors, some new shapes came out. And they kind of like post on Facebook periodically every 3 to 5 years. I think the last post that they did prior to this one was in 2020. And then you just kind of see that they're still there. And that's what kind of reminded me, because I follow them and I just got a notification that, oh, wait, they posted something. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, they're still around? I didn't even know they're still making brushes. But apparently in the high-end brush world, they are, and a lot of people are still getting their hands on them. So I'm not one to really knock somebody's business model, but I don't know what these guys are doing to be able to sell these brushes. And like I said, I've never seen them for sale unless I'm missing it on the website. I remember when it was hard to get a Wolfman brush or a Mongoose razor, Wolfman razor or a Mongoose. You used to be able to at least see them pop up here, and people talk about it. Wiborg is more of like a closed-knit cult type thing, I guess, to get into them. And I'm not in the cool group. So if you guys have a Wiborg brush or have one of these new ones and are really tight with the company, I highly recommend this design. Looks really cool, like that root beer kind of look or whatever you want to call it, with the brown and the white. Awesome brushes. Again, having used one, I think they're really good brushes, and they're definitely worth their price. It's just getting one's almost near impossible. So for those of you that have them, cherish them. Do not get rid of them unless you have another one on order. And for those of you who are like me trying to get one, the struggle's real. It's gonna be real. It makes you want it even more, I guess, right? So Wiborg brushes, some new stuff from them. Looking forward to seeing some reviews on that and seeing them on the market, seeing people get those in their shave of the days as well. So the TI Glide from Tightener, I don't know what they want to call it. It's I guess it's Tightener. So it's a titanium based single edge razor that's got like a shovel head design that's made out of, I guess it's titanium from Asia. It's supposedly I believe it's from China or from another Asian country, because I actually was looking up into doing something with them, and I was actually communicating with them on social media, but it was really hard with the language barrier. It was a little bit broken English that I was getting back, definitely through a Google Translate thing, and hard. I guess they really didn't understand me either. So I'm not too sure where it's coming from, but the design looks pretty cool. Again, that half of a DE blade, I'm just not crazy about the design. I think they should have just gone with the full SE design. I know they wanted to keep it thin, the head thin. It's very thin. But, I mean, it's just so dangerous with that splitting it. And I've done that with razors before. I've never hurt myself. I'm not crazy about it, I guess. It's like a Chevette style razor. Looks pretty cool. A lot of guys have been talking about it online. Looking forward. I don't think anybody has it or have tried it yet, but it is pretty nice, and they are very responsive to communication online. Sign up for their newsletter, and you'll get an welcome email. They'll tell you all about it, and that's pretty easy to read. I mean, if you write and read English, it's not too bad. But sometimes when I was doing one-on-one conversation, that's when it got a little bit rough, where I even had a hard time understanding the translation. So definitely looking forward to seeing some of these in the shave of the days and some reviews here soon. I have not seen anybody test one out yet, but when they do, I will definitely post it in the show notes. But as you can tell, guys, it is a pretty cool looking razor. I don't believe it's a pivot head. It's a fixed head razor, but it's made out of titanium. It's a little bit on the longer side. Comes with a stand, and also really a lot of cool videos online from the company itself. So they're definitely putting their time into advertising and stuff. Really nice, cool. So the TI Glide from Tightener, we salute you and we wish you the best of luck. And for the highlight of the show, guys, old soaps worth trying. Now, this is a ongoing forum on one of the bigger forums, sub-forum on one of the bigger forum websites that has been going on for many, many years. And, I read it. I like to read those old ones every now and then just to see, what's going on in the wet shaving world, see what new guys are coming in, what they're saying. But there is a real strong following of old soaps. Like, people really do collect them. There are a lot of guys out there that collect soaps that are 50, 60, 70 years old, maybe even 100 years old, and try these soaps and like to use them on a daily basis. Now, I, for one, have never gotten too into the vintage soap game, mainly because I guess I feel almost guilty using them, because once they're done, they're gone. And I know they were made to be used and all that stuff, but when you use it, it's like, this thing has survived 60, 70 years of not being used, and now I'm using it up. Am I preventing the future generations from being able to use it? Or am I just, is it meant to be, hey, you know what, it's a soap, it was made, use it or lose it, life is short, enjoy it. Enjoy your shaves, enjoy your time, right? So I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword type thing. Having used some vintage soaps, I could tell you that they're fun to collect. They're really cool, and there's also a huge sense of nostalgia when you use a vintage razor, a vintage brush, and a vintage soap on certain days of the week or on special shaves or something like that. Really is cool and fun to use. But a lot of people will ask, are these worth trying? Are they good still? Well, here is my thoughts on this whole thing. Vintage soap, they do have their own certain appeal to some shavers. They are getting a little bit more difficult to find. It's not easy to find them anymore, but they're still very abundant. There's still more out there than that seeks the demand, that meets demand. We definitely have plenty of them out there. And they tend to, performance based. They tend to soaps tend to end up getting harder with time. A good soap, at least, will get. Now, some soaps you'll see get soupy. That means that there's a lot of other stuff in there, or just the formula's not right with the oils and stuff. It might be a little off, and they might melt a little bit. I've had that happen with some weird tallow soaps that I've had, but for the most part, these big name brands like Colgate and Yardley and all them, they're going to be fine, right? They're going to be hard. The soaps get very hard over time, and they kind of take a little time to open up and get them to be used again. Now, remember, scent may go away with soaps over time, but performance will stay, right? Performance stays, but the scent might dissipate. So you'll need to wake up the soap a little bit by using it. Usually, just using it, getting it wet again, taking your time with that with a wet brush, and just kind of like bringing the brush over the soap a little bit, opening it up, and basically awakening it from its sleep, right? I wouldn't recommend blooming them or the process of soaking them in water unless you're going to keep it out of the package and then put it into another container if it doesn't already have one. You can bloom it. It'll open it up a little bit, but it might melt it, and you might get some kind of like too much wear and tear. You might use too much of it than needed, so it might melt and then you might lose some of it. So I would definitely recommend just taking your brush, soaking in water, wringing it out, flinging it out a little bit, and just rubbing it over there more so than you usually would to open that soap up. If you want to bloom it, you can, but you're going to prolong, you're going to lessen the life of it. You're going to have less of it. It might melt out. And you might use more than you really need. And then they usually wake up pretty quickly once they get a little bit of water on them, and get some actual, and they will be able to lather up pretty well, and you'll be able to use it probably within, honestly, a few minutes of just lathering. So some brands to look for there's a lot of them out there that have been around, but you want to stick with some decent brands that have proven results, so then you can actually see that they'll work. And also, some of the brands are still made today, so you get to see comparisons on how they've evolved over the years. So example of that would be tobacco. Tobacco's been around a long time, still made today. Vintage tobacco is definitely way different than the new tobacco, but if you try it, you can see them side by side or have fun with that. That's a good one to do. Probably the most popular shave soap from vintage shave soap is Yardley soaps. These are from the UK. They're one of the most popular and also the better performing. There's lots of scents out there, lots of packages out there, different types with wooden bowls, with glass and all that. Very abundant online, very affordable. This is definitely a good one to get if you're into vintage soaps. Every single vintage soap collector and user has one of these in their collection. I'm going to say it, Williams soap. That's right, guys. Williams mug soap has been around for well over 100 years and will probably be around for hopefully another 100 years. And it has evolved immensely over the years. I'm not going to say it's better or worse. It is worse now. But the older ones are really good, believe it or not. I have a couple of vintage Williams soaps from, I think one from the 60s and one from the 80s. And there is a big difference between that and the one from today, right? I have one from maybe 5 years ago. I bought a bunch of them when I thought they were going out of business. And I use them, and they're just very, very slick. They're not very lathery for the new ones. The older ones actually perform very well. So I was very shocked to see that the older one would work really nicely. And there is a lot of people that collect vintage Williams stuff. So go for Williams if you've had the new one. We've all tried it. We've all bought it somewhere. It was $2 for a puck. Try an older one. If you see it on eBay, just purchase one. Try it, and then try them side by side, and let me know your thoughts. And I'll put it in the show. I guarantee you'll say, "Hey, I got a new take on Williams. I think the older stuff's really good. New stuff maybe not so much, but not bad." Burma Shave, guys. I love Burma Shave stuff. I love the signs. I love the packaging that they used to come in. I love the tins and stuff. Burma Shave is very, very, very popular back in the day, especially when you used to take road trips on certain roads in the United States. You used to be able to see the Burma Shave signs. So if you're into Burma Shave, definitely try some of their stuff out. There's a lot of it out there. It does still work well. I've tried the creams. I've tried the soap. I have their shaving brush. I have a couple of their old kits. It does work very well, and it's so fun to use just because Burma Shave was so cool. And I really wish, it's before my time, Burma Shave, but apparently in Arizona, I believe there's still some signs out there that you could see on certain roads. I don't know if it's Route 66, but it's something else. I'll look up. There was a video of somebody recently, last year or two, or maybe 3 years ago, driving by the Burma Shave signs that were still out there. So there's still some out there here and there, not many. It's not going to be in a very populated area, but if you do see them, take pictures and just understand that you may never see that again. So take it all in when you do. But Burma Shave products still work really well, still have that scent that I'm sure everybody knew about back then in the 50s and 60s, and still really fun to collect their stuff. Old Spice, yep, no words needed. If you find vintage Old Spice, pick it up. Try it, because it is way different than today from what everybody's been saying. The old versions of it are different than today's versions. They are making it in several different countries now. Depending on where you live is what you get. And I can tell you, I have some of my grandfather's vintage Old Spice. It smells different than the stuff I bought, the new stuff. And then I even have some other vintage Old Spice given to me from a friend that's even different from the stuff he had. So I have 3 generations of Old Spice. I can tell you it's all different, fun to use. And if you can get an Old Spice mug with some soap in it, boy, you're lucky. So definitely highly recommend using Old Spice vintage stuff. Palmolive shave sticks are pretty good. A lot of people like them. Again, you're going to have to take them out of the foil using a shave stick, so you might want to go easy on that. And the only thing I don't like is you lose the packaging on it when you use it. So maybe get 2 of them so you can have one for the nostalgia to hold on to and one to use. But Palmolive shave sticks are very popular. And then the Gilded Hand soap, the Vergold Hand, is the oldest soap in the world still being made, or oldest shaving soap. It's been made since the 1500s. You can still buy them on West Coast Shaving, brand new. But if you could find some vintage stuff of that too, I'm pretty sure you'll be happy with that too. I have a puck of the new one. It's actually very affordable. It's like $12, and it works really well. And it's got that old style, like lemony scent that you get from all that older stuff, right? Some that you're talking like 1700 scents. They're really popular back in the 18th and 19th century. It still has that scent too. So good stuff. So shaving soaps, I think it's I highly recommend at least looking into it and reading about them. They're really cool and a lot of fun to collect. And now is the time to purchase on eBay if you're looking. Yes, the collectors are going to hate me right now, and you guys are probably, some of you are turning this off because I'm going to give you a secret, but yeah, there's been bottom dials going for record low prices. There's been 3 of them that went for under value in the last 3 weeks. So if you're looking to purchase a bottom dial, a BBS1, all these really hard to find, very rare razors that usually bring a lot of money in auctions. If you see one now, definitely make your move because I don't think it's going to get any lower. I've never seen it this low in the last few years, but it does seem like it's very popular right now, and a lot of them are being sold. So check it out, guys, when you get a chance. I know this one that was just listed, I put it in the show notes. I actually spoke to the owner of it who found it in an estate sale and was going to sell it, and I'm shocked that it didn't go for more than it did. So it was in very good shape. All right, guys. So that concludes the show for this week. I hope this podcast found you well, and I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, our show is powered by Sharpologist.com, what your father didn't teach you about shaving. Special thanks to Mark, a.k.a. Mantic59, for everything that he does in the wet shaving community, and most of all, you guys, the listeners. Don't forget to check out my blog, shavestraightandsafe.com, and if you get a chance, take a look at my book, The Modern Guide to Straight Razor Shaving, available on Amazon and Kindle. Our next show will be on the 9th of July, and until then, shave straight and shave safe. Bye-bye now.